Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to this video. Today's video is things that YouTube didn't tell me to buy. These are things that I found, discovered, all on my own, purchased them without watching any YouTube videos about them, and I am loving them. These are my own discoveries. No, that doesn't mean that there isn't reviews out there on the YouTube community. It just means I didn't get into any of that before making these purchases. So if that sounds like fun to you and it's clear as mud, let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's start with skincare. First is something that I tried in a skincare sampler from Ulta. I love buying things like that because for a low price of, for example, $20, I got a bunch of skincare samples to try out and be able to review for you guys. So I have since purchased the full size of this product. It is the Skyn Iceland Blemish dots. This has got 4 packs of 12 blemish dots in it. The little foil packs look like this, and then you get these little dots, which are stickers that you can put over any blemishes that you might have on your face. These are little miracle stickers, I tell you. I am not kidding. When I put one of these over a blemish, you want to make sure you have clean skin. I usually will apply these overnight, but I have applied them during the day as well. On your clean skin, you apply a sticker over your blemish. They have both small and large stickers on here, depending on the side of your little friend. You put it on, and whether you wear it overnight or just for a few hours during the day, I am not kidding, it is gone. It is not raised, it is not angry, there's nothing in it, but it also doesn't dry out. I've had decent luck with some spot treatments for blemishes, but they always seem to dry the pimple out, which is then you're still dealing with a scar for at least another week or so, and that is not the case with these Skyn Iceland dots. So I highly recommend these, or if you see them in one of those skincare samplers, know that that's where I first tried these and I will never go back. Now let's get into our base products, starting with a tool that I like for applying my base products. This is the Flower Beauty Sponge. Now, I'm not going to claim that I haven't heard anybody talk about this, but I will say it is not near as popular on YouTube as the Real Technique sponge, the L'Oreal Infallible sponge, and of course the Grand Old Beauty Blender, which I have not tried. I have found plenty of options in the drugstore for beauty sponges that are so much more reasonable. This runs about $10, I believe, and I did purchase this at Walmart. Currently the Flower Beauty Sponge is not on the Ulta website, but I am hoping that it will come there soon because this is my favorite beauty sponge. As I've said, I have the Real Techniques as well as the L'Oreal sponge, and I do really like the L'Oreal sponge. I find this to be, however, extremely comparable in the texture and the softness of this with the L'Oreal Infallible sponge. I don't know why, but I almost like this one a little bit better. I like this chiseled edge, which the L'Oreal one does not have. It's the same shape all the way around, whereas you can see this one has a chiseled edge on it. They both do have that very suede-y, like it feels like suede or soft leather finish on it, which I think helps for the sponge not to absorb quite so much product. So I also do like that about this one. I just find this chiseled edge to be really nice to get up there and blend out my concealer. And again, I don't feel like this sponge absorbs a whole ton of product. Again, this runs about 10 bucks at Walmart, or of course you can order it directly from Flower Beauty. This is my favorite. It is the softest, bounciest little sponge that I have tried, and I will repurchase this over and over again. I actually think as I phase my other ones out and they have to leave my collection, I will be replacing them with these because I really like this. They are like a very soft purple color. So, you know, they get kind of skanky looking, kind of like a nude beauty blender would, but I have no problems with that. Next, let's talk about a primer that I have not heard anybody talk about here on YouTube and did not influence my decision in any way to purchase this, and it is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. This is what it looks like. This is sort of a little deluxe sample size that came with my Naked 3 palette, and I actually really like this. I'm really surprised I haven't heard anybody talking about this on YouTube. Maybe it's because silicone-based primers are starting to sort of phase out of the beauty scene. It is this sort of peachy tone, and then it a little goes a long way. I mean, you can see that tiny little bit is spreading out as I blend it out on my hand, and what you're left with and feeling when applying this is a very smooth velvety texture, and that's what I like about it. I do not wear primers that are high in dimethicone on the daily basis, so this is not something that I put on my face every day, but if I want my makeup to last and I want to try and control the oils in my face, this is what I reach for. I think this performs every bit as well as, you know, a lot of people's Ride or Die Smashbox Photo Finish primer. Although this is a peachy tone, it has that same velvety smooth silicone texture to it, and so it does cling to your makeup. It doesn't feel heavy on the face at all. A little tiny bit does go an extremely long way, as it does with most primers that are high in dimethicone. The other thing I like about this is there's 2 or 3 sizes that you can buy of this, including like a little travel size. So if it's not something you use on a daily basis, but you're interested in having it for important events, a nice affordable dupe for this one that I'm talking about from Urban Decay would be the NYX Shine Killer right here. This too is a nice dimethicone type primer that, you know, will hold on to your makeup, prevent oils from coming through and things like that. So if you're looking for an affordable dupe, I do really like the Shine Killer from NYX. Last base product that I really honestly have not heard anybody talking about on YouTube, but I love this product. It has become, I mean, I tried this and I was just ready to commit. This is now my Ride or Die light to medium coverage foundation, and it is the Urban Decay Naked Skyn One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector. It is this nice airless pump, which I love a pump. That's just the easiest and mess-free way to get your foundation out and on your face. But also I really like that this is an airless pump where it sort of collapses on itself as you use the product. So you don't have to mess with this tube. You don't have to like squeeze it and fold it and try and get all that product down there. It's just there and it collapses on itself as, you know, it runs out. I have the shade medium light. I'm currently panning it because I know I'll need a darker shade for summer. It's kind of like the BB Cream's matte sister, if that makes sense. It has a light to medium coverage as I feel like I can get with the NYX BB Cream. However, this one dries down to a powder finish. I don't want to say it's a fully matte, maybe demi matte is probably a better way to put it, but it does come down to a powder finish once applied, which I really like. Most of the time with this one, I can skip setting it, whereas with a BB cream and my combo skin, I absolutely have to set that one down with a powder to make sure that it stays on my face. This one, especially if combined with a primer that is going to increase the longevity of your makeup, you could wear your primer and this and be totally fine and not have to powder your face or whatever. So it is also a really good one to get out the door with. I love it. I like it applied with a sponge, specifically the Flower Beauty sponge, as well as with a brush, but I think I do prefer the sponge with this one just because the sponge is a little damp, and so I feel like it applies nicer. So next, let's talk about just one product in the lips category, and then we'll get to what you're probably waiting for, which is which palettes did I buy not on the recommendation of YouTube. We have window washers in the neighborhood today, but it looks like he's like leaving, so. So the next thing was something that I discovered mostly on my own. I definitely hadn't heard about these on YouTube, but a friend did receive the sample size of this in her Sephora Play box and gave it to me because it was not a color that she was interested in. And this lipstick has not only become my signature color, but my #1 favorite formula of lips as well. And that is the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil. This is the sample size that my friend got in her Sephora Play box, and this is the shade. It looks kind of dark in the swatch to me, but it actually, I feel like, looks much brighter in person. So I did go ahead and buy the full size of this because I love it so much. The thing I like about this is it is matte, but it is not dehydrated. It does not look dry on the lips at all. It has amazing staying power and it's comfortable, which is not always the case. If I had to compare this to something that some might have a frame of reference, I would either compare this to high-end a MAC matte lipstick, or I would compare this to the Maybelline matte formula. It is comfortable, but it is matte, and it is very long lasting. I should have wore it for this video. I didn't think it would really go with the green eye, but this is my all-time favorite lipstick formula. Now, I would love to have more colors of this. Maybe that will be a future video, you never know. And then lastly, let's get to the palettes in case that's what you were waiting for. This is not only a brand that I don't hear about a whole lot until very recently on YouTube, as well as things that I really did not. A lot of times when I'm shopping for palettes, I will, if I'm trying to decide or make my final decision whether I'm going to purchase something, I will go on YouTube and watch tutorials or reviews or swatches and just sort of get all the information that I feel like I can stockpile and then make a decision. I did not do that with these. The brand is BH Cosmetics, and the two palettes that I'm talking about are the Back to Brazil, well, Take Me Back to Brazil palette and the Zodiac palette. Let's talk about the Zodiac palette first. My sister really wanted this for her birthday in January, so I went ahead and sent it to her as a birthday gift, and I was attracted to it then. But then once Emma got her palette, and she, of course, because she's a YouTuber as well, she did swatches for me on FaceTime and things like that. The whole time I was thinking, I don't know why I didn't order one for myself, because I too was really attracted to the Zodiac palette. This palette is gorgeous, and I don't hear anybody talking about this. I think once I got it, I did come across a video from Mae Beauty, and she did a Zodiac palette bingo, which was so fun. I love every single look that comes out of this palette. The shimmers are just so smooth and buttery. I mean, the swatches are everything, the end all be all on this palette. They just really perform exactly how they look in the swatches, and the mattes are great too. And then you also have this huge highlighter in the middle here. I love the BH Zodiac palette. You really don't see a lot of people using this or talking about this on YouTube, and I'm quite surprised because this is a phenomenal palette, and not for the price, but especially for the price. I believe it was $16 or $18. And then the other palette that I picked up from BH before I heard anybody talking about it on YouTube, of course, once I ordered it, then I was looking up tutorials and look ideas and things like that. But I bought the Take Me Back to Brazil palette all on my own. I was so impressed with the Zodiac palette that when I saw the color story in this one, I thought, there was no hesitation in my mind. This is a beautiful palette. You know, you've got every color that you could want in here. You've got pinks, you've got red, you got orange, you got yellow, you've got green and teal and blue and purple, as well as these transformer shades down here in the big pans, as well as all of the black eyeshadow you could ever need. So I think this is a great palette. I think it's just a great palette to be able to reach for on any given day that I want a colorful eye look. And it's just fun. It's really fun. I cannot wait to do a palette bingo with this one. Those are all of the products that YouTube did not make me buy. I'd like to say that this was easier to find products than it was. It actually, I had to really think and kind of look at each one and think back and try and remember when or why I bought the product. But these are the ones that I know for sure that I either stumbled upon, were given to me, or came in a sampler kit, which you guys hopefully know I love. I hope all of your makeup days are beautiful makeup days, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!